About 2 months ago, the annual flood outlook unveiled by the Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Sulaiman Adamu, indicated that high flooding will hit 233 local government areas in 32 states and the Federal Capital Territory. And in the last few weeks, there has been a heavy downpour witnessed in some parts of the country that has left communities submerged, many homeless and property destroyed. But this situation, experts say, may not be unconnected to the rising temperatures that has triggered extreme weather events in recent times. This, among other issues, will be our focus on this week's edition of Green Angle. Welcome. I am Esther Mapariola.
Illegal bushmeat is on sale in our cities, risking extinction and our health. We've become a centre for ivory and pangolin smuggling. So please report wildlife crime and say no to illegal bushmeat. And let's work together to win for Nigeria. Keep them wild, keep us safe.
Experts say one of the cheapest climate solutions is tree planting. And according to the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Obafemi Hamzat, tree planting is a lifelong investment that has the potential to positively impact on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Trees are a vital part of our ecosystem and an immense contributor to human life. Aside from the significant canopy cover they provide, trees produce oxygen and purify the air we breathe by removing harmful particles from the atmosphere. To this end, the Lagos State government dedicated 14th of July every year for the planting of trees, even as it plans to plant about 5,000 trees this month.
It is estimated that we are using renewable resources equivalent to what will be produced by 1.6 Earths to maintain our current way of life, and that ecosystem degradation is affecting 40% of the world's population. Indeed, tree planting is now regarded as a lifelong investment that has a surprising potential to positively impact all 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
Tree seedlings have been distributed to the local authorities and are available to designated collection points for interested individuals, private organizations, and NGOs until the end of this month.
And as part of efforts in raising an eco-conscious generation, the state government says it is organizing an art competition for children between 3 to 16, where they are expected to interpret their understanding of this year's Tree Planting Day theme, Harmony with Nature.
This is an opportunity for us to tell the public about the importance of planting trees and to encourage them to also plant in their homes and offices and their spaces. We're going to continue to plant at the local government. We're going to continue to partner with organizations. We have some of our partners here today that are passionate about the environment as much as we are, and they've made donations that can enable us plant at least 50,000 trees by the end of this year.
This earth belongs to us, and we must protect it, we must salvage it, and we must make sure that whatever we do is going to add value to the environment.
While the government is expected to lead the process towards a sustainable future, success, it is believed, will depend on joint efforts of everyone. Scientists say human activities are the leading cause of the rising global temperatures, triggering extreme weather events witnessed in recent times. While this is a global concern with developing countries most vulnerable to the climate crisis, building resilience, climate action and adaptation, experts say, are solutions that could save humanity from the brink of extinction. It's another rainy season, which is a good time for vegetation and water supply. But whenever there is a heavy downpour, the consequences are sometimes too great to bear. communities are submerged, property and farmlands are destroyed. In northeastern Yobe State, thousands were left homeless after 2 days of heavy downpour, with authorities appealing for humanitarian aid.
We are appealing for Mr. President through the NEMA and the Minister of Interior Affairs to immediately come to the aid of the state government to alleviate the sufferance of these two local government areas.
Here in Lagos, flash floods have become a usual occurrence even before the peak of the rainy season. Bordered by the Atlantic Ocean, the coastal city is vulnerable to the impact of rising sea levels associated with the melting of the ice sheet and expansion of the ocean water. But poor drainage channels and waste management further worsens this environmental challenge.
Since it started raining, this road has been constant. It's just been like this, constant. Vehicles can come, customers can come. If you have to move, you have to either swim in the water or use rain boots. Nobody wants to come around the area.
Sometimes the rain will reach people here. You can't use vehicle. Like on Saturday, I cannot be able to go back home. I came back on Sunday morning because of the water was too much.
Late last month, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency warned of heavy rainfall and possible flooding in most southern cities and advised residents to avoid low-lying areas. Some environmental experts attribute the heavy downpour as one of the signs of climate change, which the government must take seriously.
That the best we need to do is adaptation, strategies to adapt to the reality. Those regions where this flood, if it is from the coast, normally comes to interfere people upland. You can do some barriers that can help to break the wave of the rising sea or ocean.
We literally can't go any single day in our lives without the environment, right? And eventually, all this is not just happening to the environment, but actually happening to us. So the first thing is that we have to begin to prioritize the environment, from the media, right, to the politicians' tables, to the policies they are making, to we as citizens. We need to reframe our mindset around our current relationship, interaction with things that have to do with the environment.
Among other things, experts say energy transition from fossil fuels to renewables will reduce greenhouse gas emissions that change the climate, causing floods. And adopting nature-based solutions such as tree planting, mangrove restoration along the coast, and riverine cities will perhaps reduce the impact of floods in Nigeria. In the meantime, Director General of the Nigeria Hydrological Services, Engineer Clement Inze, gives perspectives on the flood situations in the country and how it can be managed.
By this period, rainfall had been properly established across the country, starting from the coastal areas of the country like Bayelsa, Delta, and so on, where rainfall could start before the end of February every year. Lagos is about maybe 2 meters above the ocean. In some places like Bayelsa, maybe about 1.5 meters or 2 meters above the ocean. Movement of vessels, melting of the iceberg, which increased rainfall, having the soil moisture content very heavy. We make it that by the time we are getting to the month of August, we should be expecting more flooding in the coastal areas of Nigeria. This is aside from anthropogenic activities of man, blockage of drainages in the urban areas, human interference in the coastal areas. You go and reclaim some portions of the ocean. So we should be expecting more flooding as we progress. The best we need to do is adaptation, strategies to adapt to the reality. And government has a lot to do in this instance. It doesn't occur all year round. It is usually a certain period of the year, maybe 3 months or even less for some locations. Those regions where this flood, if it is from the coast, normally comes to interfere people upland. You can do some barriers that can help to break the wave of the rising sea or ocean. We have come to live, the climate change phenomenon has come to stay. Rising temperature, increase in rainfall, like what happened in Lagos, high duration, high intensity. Infiltration was almost zero. Infiltration, so flooding occurred. So we need to begin to know that this is a reality. It has come to be. We should develop a system to be able to address, not ad hoc. Fire brigade approach, you do it this year, next year will be cut pants down. No, let the government at various levels take pressures that have been released seriously and do the needful to save the lives of the people. The issue of flooding is not a Nigerian issue alone, but the difference is that other countries seem to be more prepared than we are. We always got unprepared. Like what happened in not only Lagos, so many places in Nigeria. When it occurs, we begin to donate the billions of naira worth of materials to assist the victims. That shouldn't be the case.
Green Angle returns in just a moment. Stay with us.
The coastal city of Lagos State is highly vulnerable to the effects of climate change. Energy, waste and transport have been identified as the major sources of greenhouse gas emissions in the state, which adds to this challenge.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you again.
Following this concern, the state government launched the Climate Action Plan, aimed at charting a course towards achieving a net zero by the year 2050.
This year's edition is action-oriented, and we have decided to do things differently by co-opting the organized private sector from the planning stage to the delivery of the summit. This is in recognition of the impact of the organized private sector on economic growth in Lagos and our resolve to mainstream climate action in the next phase of the developmental agenda of Lagos State. This is also an affirmative action in support of the role of the private sector in mitigating the effects of climate change.
Speaking on the recent flood situations in the state, the Commissioner for the Environment said the coastal nature of Lagos makes it vulnerable to sea level rise, but asked residents to desist from the indiscriminate disposal of waste on drainage channels.
Now, if you have a rain of 6 to 8 hours consistently, the ocean will rise. Your lagoon cannot discharge into the ocean. When your lagoon cannot discharge into the ocean, it locks up your canyons. All the water will come and they go back to the streets. But if the rain stops, maybe 6 or 8 hours later, just relax. We've been saying this for years, but people will not listen. We are flooded, we are flooded. Everybody will say, we are flooded here. But where is the water? Has the water stayed after? Compare with what's happening in other parts of the world. Those are developed countries that are even more efficient than us. Water will not go for days if the drainages are not working. If you are not working on it, if the government has not worked on the canals.
In the meantime, stakeholders, development partners and investors were asked to join in the progress towards achieving a green and sustainable economic growth in Lagos and bequeathing a sustainable environment for future generations.
Every year, thousands of tons of used plastic and rubber products like worn tires are abandoned. Such large amounts of waste, if not disposed of properly, can cause serious environmental pollution to our air, water and land, which would affect our health. But a local startup in Ibadan, southwest Nigeria, is making a difference by converting used tires into durable products.
Tyres. This thick rubber ring, often filled with air, allows a vehicle to stick to the road surface and to travel over the ground more easily. But what happens when these tires become old and worn out? They are often thrown away, used to burn anything, and they constitute an environmental nuisance, serving as a breeding ground for mosquitoes and other pests. In Ibadan, southwest Nigeria, a recycling plant is transforming these old tires into paving bricks, floor tiles, rubber mats, and other products. Its mission is to utilize recycled materials to develop durable, eco-friendly products that can be used in day-to-day operations.
When you burn tires, it causes a lot of environmental hazards, like it emits carbon monoxide, and this depletes the ozone layer. We don't burn, we recycle tires, and by so we are saving the environment from pollution. Another benefit is for these tires that they are non-biodegradable. They cannot decompose. So people dump tires indiscriminately. They block drainages. They cause mosquitoes. When they bring these tires to us, you are saving the country from malaria.
With more than 100 employees, Freetown Waste started operations in 2020 and has recycled more than 100,000 tires, from speed bumps to soft paving for playgrounds.
As at date, we have about 130 staff, and they get paid every month, right? Then we have over 200 indirect agents. What I mean by that is, apart from the guys supplying us these scrap tires, we also have people who does the installation, who are also agents who get paid. So we've actually created job opportunities, not just for our core staff that resumes here every day, but for all other agents that does the installation, that also does the tire collection for us as well.
Sometimes, like the ones we had there,
Managed by a team of professionals, its goal is to recycle 15 million tires per year.
We all know the problems that solid waste pose in the environment, and unfortunately scrap tires are not biodegradable. What I mean by that is they don't decompose on their own. We all know it's a problem to the environment. It causes flooding, it breeds mosquitoes, it's a tool of violence during protests, during riots, even for during jungle justice. We see what youths, what they do with scrap tires as well. There is no proper method of scrap tire disposal in Nigeria, right? Most of them are in the drainages, most of them are in the landfills, most of them are in the streets, causing havoc and causing chaos, right? So this was what propelled my company, Freetown Waste Recycle Limited, to come up to say, okay, what can we do with these scrap tires? Okay, let's go into recycling of these scrap tires. Let's use them to manufacture rubber mats, rubber rolls, rubber ties, which are eco-friendly products, which can be used at home, in schools, in offices, and so on and so forth. The idea was born in 2018, right? So the company was incorporated in 2018, but we commenced operation fully November in 2020. So operation-wise, we are just a year. What we are providing is something new.
The company sources for most of these old tires from its vendors and vulcanizers, and they are paid 90 naira per tire.
Safer than it. Scrap tires are everywhere, right? So they are everywhere in the streets and with vulcanizers. So the entire tire recycling venture is a value chain. So what we did was to identify where to outsource and where to play in. So what we did was to engage collection agents, right? We call them registered vendors. So these vendors, they go out to collect these tires from vulcanizers, from off the streets, off the landfills, and they bring them to us. Then we compensate them for that. Derivatives from our tires, scrap tires, like what we do in Freetown is the products are many, but for now we focused on flooring. So we do produce rubber ties, we produce rubber roofs, rubber mats, caps, that's landscaping caps they use for borders and all that. The door mats, foot mats, a whole lot of products.
Aside from recycling these old worn-out tires, Freetown Waste plans to recycle plastics and other reusables as part of its own measure in safeguarding the environment.
We are also looking at not just scrap tires alone. We are looking at going into all other recyclables like plastic, PET bottles, aluminum cans, cartons, and all that. So this is just like the first phase of us doing recycling. Apart from that as well, we are looking at also expanding our operations nationwide. We are looking at setting up in all other regions nationwide as well, and also neighboring West African countries as well. Prior to this time, these products actually exist in the market. They are all imported from China, from India, and all other countries of the world. But we are the first doing it in Nigeria. So people are beginning to see that, oh, these are not imported products. These are products made in Nigeria, and they can actually be used for flooring, children playgrounds, schools, gyms. So people are beginning to realize that, oh, that our products are valuable and they can substitute for all other existing flooring products.
Illegal bushmeat is on sale in our cities, risking extinction and our health. We've become a centre for ivory and pangolin smuggling. So please report wildlife crime and say no to illegal bushmeat. And let's work together to win for Nigeria. Keep them wild, keep us safe.
And that's about it on this week's edition of Green Angle. Until I come your way next time, remember, together we can build a sustainable world. I am Esther Makwariela. Bye for now.